the whole universe at my fingertips.
And I'm all on my own. I'd love it if you came with me.
I love Doctor Who. It is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Good t-shirt. I love that t-shirt. Well done. That's gorgeous. Isn't that episode brilliant? Wow.
Yes, definitely.
Wow.
You first rebooted Doctor Who in 2005. Why did you want to return to this world, and what were you excited to explore with Ncudi's Doctor that you didn't maybe have a chance to with Eccleston or Tennant?
Yeah. I wanted to come back because I agreed with the BBC's ambition for the show, which is to make it bigger, to make it a streamer, to go worldwide with it. Also, I missed it. I love it. It's during the years when I was writing other shows, I'd always be asked, like, would you write for Doctor Who again? And I just very politely say no, never, because that's the only nice thing you could say when someone else is sitting in your chair. I'm calling it my chair. I love that. That's cheeky. But I'd never stopped thinking about it. I'd faithfully traipse into town every fourth Thursday and buy Doctor Who magazine. I love that thing. So I've got every single edition of that magazine since 1979 in a cupboard in my house. So that's someone who's never given up on Doctor Who. So coming back to it would be a choice not to repeat myself. I don't think there was ever anything in the old days that I didn't achieve, because I had a wild time and had some of the greatest ratings of my entire life. It was so successful. It was brilliant, but I wanted it to be new again. I wanted it to have an energy that would push it forward. I thought it was important that it feels like 2024 on screen. And at the same time, the BBC cooked up a plan to take it to Disney Plus, to make it a big worldwide streamer that would drop every day. That was their plan, but it just so happened that was a plan I absolutely agreed with. They kind of shanghaied me into a Zoom call that I thought was just going to be a nice happy little celebration of Doctor Who's 60th, where suddenly the head of the BBC appeared on this call. I thought, it's strange. Why aren't you busy running a worldwide empire? And it was a trap to run the potential future of Doctor Who past me and ask me to whether I'd come back and run it. But it was only a trap in the sense that they knew me well enough to know I absolutely agreed with everything they were planning. Everything they were planning, I was in immediately. I think it's here we are, and I do think it's the right thing to do.
I love that. Your Doctor Who episodes are absolutely some of my favorites. I was so excited when you were coming back.
Thank you.
How did you want Ruby to stand out from other companions, and what inspired kind of this mystery surrounding her origin?
Well, that's a new one for me to bring us a companion with such a strong story. We've always had great characters. We've always been blessed with the greatest of actors. But the arriving in the TARDIS with the Doctor has tended to be the start of their journey. Actually, Ruby's story's been going on since she was born. And we've seen this. We've seen a baby abandoned on a church doorstep in the snow on Christmas Eve. It's quite a shock to realize that that's 2004 because she's so young. 2004 sounds like yesterday to me. I always have to pause and think about that date, thinking Ruby's so young. We actually talk about that in the penultimate episode, the fact that it's not Dickensian, it's not a fairy tale. It actually happened in 2004. But she's a mystery. There's an unashamed mystery about who is her mother, who is her father. I mean, something that I was very interested in real life, that I watched there's a very great British show called Long Lost Family, hosted by Davina McCall. We got Davina McCall into the church on Ruby Road. She's a very famous British TV presenter, and she hosts this show called Long Lost Family that started doing stories about foundlings, because now for the first time in history, foundlings can be traced through DNA. So that's a whole raft of people who've never had any hope of tracing their family, suddenly finding that their family can be found by the press of a computer button. So, and I love that stuff. I thought I would have written a drama about that no matter what. Then you put that into a Doctor Who setting, and suddenly you're thinking, who is Ruby's mother? Yeah. Who is their father? It's like, is there a grander story at play here? What a mystery. It just comes alive. So I've loved that, and I think and Millie has risen to the challenge of hitting that kind of epic story so beautifully. So great fun to be had. Answers are coming. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that vague science fiction thing of going, we might find out one day. Big answers on their way. Shocking answers.
Excellent. I cannot wait. And I love how you brought back the toy maker and kind of were exploring a different kind of villain with this force of the universe. What inspired you to lean further into that than maybe kind of the villains we've gotten to know that have become more iconic in the recent Doctor Who stuff?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we might always return to the classic iconic monsters. Not yet, because I think it's a new Doctor, a new companion, and I want new threats. And I simply want to expand the scale of the threat. As you can see when you watch my old Doctor Who's, I love it when the scale gets epic and titanic, and where nothing I love more than vast armies of Daleks threatening the Doctor. But you've got to find new ways to do that. And you can only use the phrase vast armies so many times, and you've got to look for somewhere new. And I wanted to stretch the program in new directions. Everything I'm talking about, its energy and its wildness, I wanted to fit onto the villains as well. And so just stepping into fantasy felt like a very natural direction. It's always been on the edge of Doctor Who. You could not be closer to Narnia than with Doctor Who. Narnia steps through a door in a wardrobe into a magical land. That's a wooden door, and exactly like the wooden door of the TARDIS. It's always been very, very close to that kind of thing. It's had werewolves. I mean, I've written a werewolf into Doctor Who with a vague hand wave, sort of saying, "Oh yes, it's a lupine alien life form." Actually, let's be honest, it's just a werewolf. And that's one of the best episodes we ever did. I love that episode. So it's always had little nods towards making a science fictional sense of fantasy elements, and I just decided to start dropping the nods and not even pretending that there's any rational explanation to this, that wild forces are at work in the universe, manifesting themselves into the shape of Neil Patrick Harris and Jinx Monsoon. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? I can promise you more gods to come as well. We've not finished with this.
Oh, I love it. I could talk to you about Doctor Who all day. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
The new season is incredible. I cannot wait for more people to see it.
Oh, that means the world. Keep watching. Honestly, there's some great stuff to come. Thank you.
I can't wait. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Is that monster?
No, don't be silly. There's no such thing as monsters. They're just creatures you haven't met yet.